Guys, there are times in life to talk, but I've learned that most of the time it's better to keep your mouth shut. Keep your business to yourself. That's when it comes to your life and your money. Everybody doesn't need to know what you're doing or what you're thinking about doing. Everybody doesn't need to know what you got. And everybody definitely doesn't need to know where you're trying to go in life or with your money, because sometimes the more you say, the more you can end up losing in the long run. So let me give you 3 things that you should never share with other people. First, don't share what you're working on, your dreams, your visions, your next moves that you plan to make coming up sometime soon. No, you've got something in your mind right now that you're probably planning, something that you're thinking about doing. You're wanting to tell other people about it. You got a vision, you got a plan, you got something that you're trying to build right now, right? And the first instinct that most people have is to go run out and tell other people, right? Tell somebody else. Man, I'm thinking about doing this, or I'm about to start doing that, or I've got this great idea, right, that I want to share with you. Stop, right? Just freeze. My opinion, don't do it, because not everybody can see what you can see. Listen, there are dream killers out here. There's people who their only job in your life is to test whether or not you're serious about your dream. They're there to basically deter you, right? And try to destroy whatever dream or vision that you have for your life or for your money. There are vision stealers out here, and they don't always come as your enemy, right? Or the person who you think is your enemy. Sometimes they come as a good friend or a sibling or a parent or a cousin or some type of close family member or a longtime friend that you've been real cool with since high school. And you know that they're a dream killer because they'll say things like, "Are you sure you want to do that? Is that realistic?" Or they'll say something like, "You might want to rethink that," or "That's kind of risky," or flat out, they'll say something like, "I wouldn't do that if I was you," or they'll simply doubt you behind your back to somebody else, to the other friend, right? And before you know it, those are the people that are planting seeds of doubt in your own mind. They end up having you questioning your own vision. Not because they're evil or bad people necessarily, but it's just that they can't see what you see for your life. But here's the kicker, right? It's not for them to see. It's your dream. So 99% of the time, they're not going to see it because it's not for them to see. It's for you to see. It's not their vision. It's yours. And what happens is this: you end up second guessing yourself based on a comment they made. So you start slowing down on your dream. You sort of hesitate. And then you ultimately can start overthinking the process and the possibilities about what your vision was. Because the dream killer planted a seed by making a funny comment, what they thought was a funny comment, right? And all this happens because you opened your mouth and told the wrong person about your vision. See, everything you're building does not need an audience, and it certainly doesn't need approval from other people. So, in my opinion, just move in silence when you're building or when you start winning. Then let those results speak for you down the road. You ain't even got to say nothing. But until then, just keep your vision and your dreams and what you're working on and building, keep it to yourself. Now, the second thing that you shouldn't share and you should keep to yourself is simply your progress. Whatever momentum you're making. People don't talk about this one too much, but the moment you start winning in anything, in life, money, whatever it could be, you're going to feel like sharing it with other people, right? You feel good. Things are all clicking around you. You're making some progress and you want to tell the world, especially you want to tell the people that you're close to, right? But hear me out on this, okay? The moment people feel like you're pulling ahead of them, some people, not all, but a lot of people, the moment they feel like you're pulling ahead, there's a lot of people who want to pull you back down, right? Crabs in a bucket. There are people out here who do not want to see you winning. They don't want to see you getting ahead. They don't want to see you progressing, right? You ever notice that there's some people that when you start winning, their energy changes? And it's not always loud. It's not always obvious, but you can feel it, right? Their demeanor and energy just subtly starts to change. They may not call you as much. The conversations get shorter, or there's a snide remark here or there. Comparison starts to kick in, and people start measuring themselves against you. Maybe without you knowing, right? Here's the deal. Some people are going to get inspired by you, and they're going to be motivated by you winning. But there's a lot of people that your winning makes them uncomfortable. They believe that your progress shines a light on their lack of progress. And when people get uncomfortable with you winning, they don't always clap for you. They may look like they're clapping for you, right? Sitting on the front row, right? Liking all of your Facebook posts and doing all the things and saying all the right things, clapping for you. But some people are plotting against you. Some people are hoping you fail and wishing for your downfall secretly without you knowing. Look, it happens, right? If you can relate, let me know in the comments below. I've seen it. You'll start hearing them make little comments, right? Oh, you've changed, or you think you better than us now, or must be nice, or sometimes you'll just hear the sarcasm in their comments. You're feeling good and winning, and the more you win, the more they're looking at you with a side eye, right? Now all of a sudden, your progress becomes an issue or a problem, or they get more difficult to deal with, right? The more you win. So instead of talking about it, my suggestion, again, for this one, is that you just keep going. Let them notice. Don't announce it. You ain't got to mention nothing, right? Because quiet progress in the long run is really the most powerful kind of progress. In other words, when you start scoring touchdowns in the game of life or with your money, act like you've been in the end zone before. And act like you plan on getting back in the end zone, scoring more touchdowns in life and with money, right? No pressure, no expectations, no outside noise, just you continuing to get better, continuing to win. A lot of times you ain't got to say nothing. You just got to get out there and do what you do. But whatever you do, in my opinion, don't share your progress. Don't share your momentum. I suggest you just keep it to yourself. Now, the third thing to not say or not talk about or not mention or ever tell anybody is simply this: how much money you have, what your net worth is, right? Now let's talk about money here, okay? One of the biggest mistakes that people make is telling other people how much money they got or what their net worth is or all the assets you have, right? The first problem is this: people don't understand what that number means when you're sitting there talking about what your net worth is. You say, for example, my net worth is $700,000. Most people think that you got cash sitting in the bank somewhere, or you got a safe at home with $700,000 sitting in it. A lot of times people don't realize that your money might be tied up in equity in your home. It might be tied up into retirement accounts that you can't necessarily touch until you reach age 59 and a half, unless you want a penalty. Or you have some investments at your brokerage account that's trying to grow, right? That you don't want to touch right now. People think when you tell them your net worth or how much money you got, they think you got that money sitting in a pile somewhere. So now misperceptions creep in. And then ultimately, people's expectations of you show up. You got it. You got that money. I know you got a lot of money. I know you make a lot of money, right? You can cover it, or let me borrow XYZ, right? Then after that, entitlement can show up. And now your whole financial situation is being viewed and vetted through somebody else's perspective about what you have and what you should have and all that. It's not reality, but it's what they perceive the reality to be based on how much you told them that you make or what your net worth is. Sometimes people don't realize that, look, you worked really hard for what you got. You sacrificed a lot back in the day and even now for what you have. Or You built all of what you have over a long period of time. They don't realize you started doing this back in 1995, 2002, right? You've been building the whole time. They also don't realize this. You took a ton of risk to get where you are right now with your money or in life, right? Hear me closely, all right, when I say this. You don't owe anybody any explanations. And you certainly don't owe anybody access to what you got. The more people know about your money, the more complicated relationships can get. So don't put yourself in that position. Keep it private. Keep it simple. Keep it to yourself. Before I close this video out, I want to say this. Everybody doesn't need to know everything about you. Move smarter, move quieter. But understand this one thing, really important. Being quiet about your money, life, what you have, don't have, doesn't really fix your money. A lot of people are still dealing with having too many bills, having too much bad debt, having no real structure or plan with their money, and not knowing just flat out where their money is going. Now listen, if that's you, that's exactly why I created the 4-step financial reset. It's a 30-day process that's going to walk you through how to organize your money, how to build a real budget for your life, and how to start eliminating bad debt in your life. We talk about your mindset with money. We talk about how to manage money. We talk about how to grow and invest money, all inside of the 4-step financial reset. And we try to make it so that you get clear on what you're doing financially. It's not about tricks or shortcuts. It's about us building a system that actually works for you in your life. Enrollment in our 4-step financial reset is open right now. Just check the link in the description box below. And if you want to keep going and learn the habits of building quiet wealth, check out this video right here next.